I like writing romantasy novels. Currently I'm working on a vampire romantasy. I'm on draft 3 and currently I'm just under 50k words. I'm not a published author, but I do hope to be one day, and therefore I want to get like the ball rolling on that as soon as possible. Like I want to be in a state where I'm fit to start querying, and currently I'm not that close to that. I'm at least a couple drafts away from my book being in that kind of state. So basically I want to power through draft 3 as fast as possible, so I've decided to do the 75 hard challenge, but the writing edition. I think Lindsay Puckett post a video about this. I think she's the first person to kind of like change 75 hard into a writing challenge. If you don't know what 75 hard is, it's basically a sort of like health and wellness challenge where for 75 days straight you have to like complete these like, I guess, habits every single day. So for example, you have to work out twice a day for 45 minutes, one time outside, one time inside. I'll put them all up here so you can have a little look. But basically Lindsay changed it so that it went from like a health and wellness challenge to more of like I guess a writing challenge, but you can obviously add some like health, wellnessy, physical activity stuff into there if you want to. And hopefully the idea is that at the end of 75 days you'll either be in a better state writing wise than you were at the beginning of 75 days. I'll link Lindsay's video below. I think her and a lot of other author tubers started the challenge maybe like a month ago or so they're probably about halfway through, and I think Lindsay's vlogging her experience, so yeah, I'll link her channel below if you don't follow her already. Whilst I'm not going to copy Lindsay's version of the 75 hard writing challenge exactly, I am going to take a heavy amount of inspiration from hers and edit the original 75 hard to suit my own needs and my own desires for the next 75 days. So I'm hoping to start a challenge on Friday 1st of August and ending it on October 15th. And my main goal for the next 75 days is to finish draft 3 of my book. But just to go over the original 75 hard again, the first challenge is to drink 1 gallon of water. This one I'm not going to do because I just know I won't succeed. I drink an okay amount of water. I tend to drink more cups of tea, to be honest, to like hydrate throughout the day. And whilst I probably should fix my water intake, I'm just not in a state where I want to take on that challenge. I'm also not going to be doing 2 45-minute workouts. I am going to be exercising more. That is going to be a goal for 75 hard. But I'm going to do it a little bit differently, so I'll talk more about that in a second. But I will not be working out twice a day for 45 minutes because that would just eat way too much into my writing time, and I'm just not that bothered about physical fitness that I feel the need to do that right now. Instead of reading 10 pages of a non-fiction book, I like to read 10 pages of a fiction novel. I just think that in order to be a good writer, it's important that you read in general. So I'm going to try and read more fiction because I have been really bad at that recently. I think I've only read like maybe 4 books this year, which is a lot less than I like to. I'm not going to be following a diet and I'm not going to quit drinking alcohol. I'm happy with my diet and I'm happy with my alcohol intake, so I don't feel the need to do that. And then the main part of the challenge that makes it so hard is that if you fail a day, you have to go back to the beginning and start all over again. So let's say you get to like day 40 of 75 days. If you then on that day don't drink 1 gallon of water, maybe you drink 0.9 gallons of water, you still have to technically go back to the beginning. I think that's just really mean and really cruel, and I don't really know anyone who's actually successfully completed 75 hard, and because of that rule, I think it just really demotivates you. Like I'd rather have a really bad day where perhaps I do barely any of my tasks, but then continue on with the 75 days as if nothing happened, because I think in the long run I would be more productive and I'd get more done. Whereas if I like went back to day 1, I'd probably just end up giving up because I feel so demotivated knowing I've had to go back to like square one again. So the only things I'm keeping from the original 75 hard is reading 10 pages of a book a day, but I won't be doing non-fiction, I'll be doing fiction, as well as just exercising more frequently than I was before. But for my version of 75 hard challenge, the 5 areas of life that I want to focus on are writing, mental and emotional wellness, physical fitness, reading and vlogging. As I've said a million times, writing is going to be the main focus of my challenge. I'm in draft 3 of my romantasy vampire novel and I'm about 50k words through. I think the final manuscript is probably going to be about 100, maybe up to 120k. It's kind of hard to predict because I haven't actually written Act 3 that thoroughly before, so I don't know how long it actually would be if I wrote it properly, which is what I'm going to be doing this time around. So I'm thinking I've got like 50 to maybe 70k words left, which I can definitely write in 75 days, especially if it's closer to like the 50k word count. So if I can finish draft 3 at the end of 75 days, that would be like the ideal, the ultimate dream, and I am going to strive towards that. But I also want to keep my like daily writing challenge kind of like realistic and not overwhelm myself too much. Based on like how writing has been going for me recently and what seems to be working well for me and is achievable, I'm going to say I want to do 2 writing sprints a day, and for both those sprints to be like Pomodoro sprints, so 25 minutes each. Chances are I'll get into the writing flow really easily on other days and do a lot more than just 2 writing sprints, but I think if I keep 2 as my minimum, that's realistic and is something I definitely can achieve. But it's also enough that if I do just that for 75 days, I will make a really decent amount of progress in my book. For mental and emotional well-being, I find that I feel a lot better and a lot happier when I get myself out of my head, or at least replace any like negative thoughts with positive thoughts. So I'm going to be doing affirmations and meditations every single day. I find my meditations most impactful when I do one in the morning and one in the evening just before bed, just to make sure I'm starting my day on like a really positive note and I'm ending it on a positive note as well, so I'm not like lying in bed thinking about all the terrible things that happened that day and stressing out about the next day, and it will help me get to sleep a lot easier. And obviously if you're well rested, then you're going to be in a better mood every single day in general. I've also found recently that I've been quite negative in the morning, so if I do affirmations when I'm getting ready, so whilst I'm getting changed, brushing my hair, brushing my teeth, maybe not brushing my teeth, that would be kind of difficult, but just going about my like morning routine, if I'm doing affirmations, then that will stop me from like having these like mental rants, and instead I'll be like saying positive things like I am loved and all those positive words. So yeah, I think the main affirmation tape I'll probably do is a 10-minute one, and that's the Gem Goddess morning affirmations. I really like that one. I've used it a lot in the past. And then my meditations tend to be from like the Mindful in Minutes podcast, but perhaps I'll mix things up, do a different affirmation tape one day, a different meditation another day, who knows. But regardless, I do find them really helpful. In terms of physical exercise, I haven't been doing too badly. This is probably my best year for physical exercise. I started running 5Ks for the first time ever, which is something I never did in the past, but I'd always wanted to do. And running 5Ks was actually on my vision board for this year, so I've accomplished that, which is amazing. So I want to keep up with the 5Ks. I think if I run 1 a week, that's something I'm really happy with. So I'm going to set a weekly exercise goal. The first goal is running 1 5K a week. The second weekly goal I want to do is go to a beginner's adult ballet class. I'm going to my first one this Saturday. I've never been before. I might go, I might hate it, but I'm hoping to set it as a goal for 75 days to make sure that I can give it like a proper go and make sure I don't just go to like one class, have a negative experience and then give up, that I'm actually trying and I guess forcing myself to build up my confidence, because I expect to feel a lack of confidence in the first few weeks of doing the adult beginner ballet classes. So yeah, I'm going to say run 5K, go to an adults beginner ballet class, and then I want to do 2 more days of exercise, so 4 out of the 7. And for those, I'm going to do just general strength training because I know it's just really good for your health. It's important to build up muscles for your older age for some reason. So basically, if you're like nice and muscly at 30 and you maintain those muscles, you're going to be in a better state of health when you're 60, I think. I'm not a scientist, I don't know. But basically strength training is just good for you. So I'm going to try and do some weightlifting maybe, or just some like home workout classes, can like build up maybe like upper body strength, good core strength, stuff like that. So reading, as I already said, I want to read 10 pages a day. I will struggle with this because I doom scroll so much, and it's really hard for me like late at night to like go from being on my phone to picking up a book. So I think I may have to delete some social media apps for 75 days, maybe like TikTok. I've already deleted Instagram, but maybe I might have to delete YouTube from my phone because YouTube shorts have become really bad for me recently. So I'm thinking reading late at night as well as doing my meditations, and that should get me in a good state. Not just for writing, but also for like sleeping well and relaxing my mind in preparation for sleep. My last daily challenge for 75 Hard Writing Edition is vlogging. So I want to vlog every single day. I do not want to film full-on videos every single day, but I would like to at least film like a 10-second clip just saying what habits I did, how much I wrote, basically just a really short clip just like updating you on the progress I make each and every day. I don't care if the clips are terrible quality some days, I just want to make sure I film something just to record my progress. Not only will like a little video compilation at the end of 75 days be something nice for me to look back on and to be able to see like how much I accomplished, but I also want to get back into vlogging. I used to do this like 2 years ago, not super consistently, but consistently enough. but I just really miss it. I've been watching a lot of AuthorTube recently and I want to get like back involved with the community. I just think like AuthorTube videos are so much fun and they get me really like motivated to write, not just when I like make them, but when I watch them. I don't know, I just love writing vlogs. They're like my favourite thing ever. So I want to get back into creating them because that's something I really used to enjoy. But then when I started my new job and I moved to a new city, I just found it really difficult to keep up with it. So that's something I'm going to try and get back into, and I think filming really short little clips every day will help me get back into that habit of picking up the camera and filming just something, even if it's not that great. It doesn't have to be amazing, but just having like videos that bring me joy and are something I can look back on in the future will be really nice. So to record my progress over 75 days, I'm going to make like a big sort of timetable, or not a timetable, but just a table where it's got like the dates on one column, or like day 1 to day 75. Then above it, it's got like each of the habits that I want to be doing every single day. Then obviously I can go down, like tick off the ones that I did, and then leave blank the little squares for the ones I didn't do. Then of course I'll share the stats at the end of the challenge. I think it'll be really interesting to see if there are any days of the week where like I do more work than the other days. Because I noticed recently that I always ran on a Wednesday. Like, it wasn't like I said, oh, every Wednesday I'm going to go on a 5k, but I just noticed that if I was doing a 5k, it would normally be on a Wednesday. So I think there are like weird little habits that like we form without realising. So I want to see if there's any days where like I write more, any days where I find it a bit easier to do physical exercise, things like that. So I'd be quite interested to see what each day looks like throughout the period. So that's everything, I think. It is currently, what's the date? It's currently the 29th of July, so I've got a couple days for 75 hard starts. I do intend on vlogging the first couple days, and I also want to film a video where I go over my general like writing plan for the next 2 years in terms of finishing the book I'm currently working on, which is my vampire romantasy. Let me know if you are doing 75 hard and if there's any habits that you're changing to the original challenge. But that's all from me. I hope you have a nice day and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye!